cause this is Sports Life Talk.
Hey, hey.
You rock it with Sports Life Talk. Hot topics with Sports Life Talk. So come and get you some Sports Life Talk. They let us in the game, now we calling the shots. Things will never be the same, so forget what you thought. Cause life without sports ain't nothing but talk. Go now, finally a show that makes your heart pound. Profound, wonder what's running up through your thoughts now. About to drown all podcasts that be watered down. Tell them clowns it's a new era, and it's starting now. 5 total strangers, the 5 Power Rangers, approaching Sports Life Talk from 5 different angles. Get ready for the change up. We done turned the flame up. The topics that we bring up, we about to blow this thing up. Yeah, let's get it cracking. KT the head coach and Miss Manhattan. Gemini Jones hold the throne, she be calling them out. Mr. United Surgeon B. Jones, the mouth of the South. From the cover athlete to the year of the week, we got what you need. We dropping what's hot in the streets, from copping new sneaks to locals popping, doing big things. When gossip and tea, let Kimberly pour you a dream. Sports Life Talk, who is them? Went from not listening and now you're tuning in. If you're feeling what you're hearing, tell a friend, tell a friend. Thank you for listening, let the show begin. Sports Life Talk, who is them? Went from not listening and now you're tuning in. If you're feeling what you're hearing, tell a friend, tell a friend. Thank you for listening, now let the show begin.
Let's go. Let's give a round of applause for the dopest podcast. Sports Life Talk. Turn it up. Tell a friend, tell a friend. The revolution has begun, and it will be televised. Let's go.
Whoop, I was muted. All right, y'all. Welcome to another episode of Sports Life Talk, where life without sports is just talk.
What the hell was that?
Y'all starting too early today. All right, so today is Wednesday, August 5th. This is episode 55, entitled The Tasmanian Devil. But tonight on our show, we have Coach KT over there, who's returning back to the workforce after being off for some time.
The workforce.
We have Serge there in the middle up top, Mr. United.
What's up?
Then we have B. Jones. Go ahead.
Do your little stuff.
Mouth of the South, Mr. Yeet, Mr. Steal Your Girl, whatever. I don't know all of that.
Nah, I ain't finna steal nobody, girl. I don't want that smoke.
And then we have Miss Manhattan KD over here to my
the other way.
Yeah, go the other way. There you go.
The camera's backwards. Sorry. And I am, of course, Gemini Jones with the red hat. I thought it fit, but I thought my head was little, but it's a little tight.
You ain't never thought you. Okay, go ahead. Kevin, are you trying to insinuate that she got a big head?
He is.
I did not say those words.
I don't really appreciate it, but
Since you said it for me.
The head is really cute, Pam.
Thank you, girl. I thought it was too. Somebody found it. Anyway, so like I said, this is episode 55 entitled Tasmanian Devil. Who is our cover athlete tonight? It is none other than Junior Seau. So, KD, I believe that you are doing the bio on Mr. Seau. So go ahead and take it away.
Yes. So Junior is from Oceanside, California. He attended USC. He was picked number 5 in the first round of the NBA draft in 1990. He started his career off with the Chargers, and then he went off to the Dolphins in New England. And he is a 6-time All-Pro. Sal was also voted to 12 Pro Bowls. Y'all, did he always stay in New England? Like, that's the only that is that?
No. He started in the Chargers, and then he played the last couple of years. Yeah.
Okay.
But he was part. But I think he was a backup. I'm not sure if he started or not. But I know he was on that 2007 team, which any red-blooded football fan know that team was the one with Randy Moss, and they went undefeated up until the last game of the season when they lost the Super Bowl to the New York Giants. So took a shot at the New York Giants last week, but we'll give them some love this week.
Okay. So he was inducted into the Hall of Fame in 2015. Career highlights and awards. He was a 12-time Pro Bowl, 8-time first team All-Pro, two-time second team All-Pro, NFL Defensive Player of the Year, and NFL Man of the Year. A couple of his stats, 1,849 tackles, 56. What is 56.5 sacks, y'all? Like that's like and a half.
Yeah, they give half sack.
Yeah, you get a half sack.
If you sack somebody with somebody else also sacked him at the same time, then you get half. The other player gets half.
Oh, I never knew that. I never knew you could get half a sack. That's funny. 18 interceptions and 11 forced fumbles. So as most of y'all know, I believe that he committed suicide and he shot himself in the chest so that way they could do research for CTE. And I wonder, like, people that they have been doing research on, I wonder if they are getting the information that they are needing. It seems like with everything going on right now, we don't really hear much of it. It always comes about at the start of the NFL season, but it's like they don't really talk much about it. I know there was a movie, but I haven't heard much since.
Oh, yeah, that movie with Will Smith was Concussion, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I never watched it.
Yeah, me too. I felt like it was propaganda. You know?
Yeah, they try to throw something together to get some money and everything. You know how they go.
What?
Yeah, when stuff like that happens, you're only going to hear about it when something actually happens. Like when Junior Seau passed, his family talked about CTE. Then there was like a big story about it, and then everybody forgets about it, and until the next time something happens and it's related to CTE, then we'll talk about it for a couple months, and then nobody will talk about it. You know, so and I think once they did that whole settlement, at least 5-7 years, right, since they did that settlement for the ex-players and stuff like that to give them, you know, insurance, and I think they tried to get $2 billion. They settled for like 900 million, I think. But other than that, yeah, you're not going to really hear about it because, you know, it hurts the NFL product, I guess, when they're, you know, you're talking about negative stuff, obviously.
You know, but it was kind of a dark day when Seau, you know, when it was announced that he had committed suicide. I could think back a little bit about that, but I will say this: Seau was probably one of those. You know how we watch television now? We get these Aaron Rodgers commercials and we get the Patrick Mahomes commercials and stuff like that. Seau was a linebacker, and he actually had like a whole line of Nike clothes that said Seau, and he would do this little, you know, he would do all kind of crazy stuff when he was a great player and he changed the game to me. I mean, he was right up there with some of the best middle linebackers in the game. I guess maybe a la a Ray Lewis, but we've been on a nice little run of middle linebackers, hadn't we? Had Randy White, Ray Lewis. Now we got Junior Seau. And next week, I know we got to talk about probably, in my opinion, the greatest defensive player of all time. So we'll touch on that one next week. But Junior was the truth.
Yeah, next week we got to stay away from those lines next week though. You know, old boy was already he was high all the time, so you're gonna see just white stuff all on screen.
What you talking about?
Lawrence Taylor.
All right, so KD, thank you for that fabulous breakdown as always. But now we're going to turn it over to B Jones with the trivia question for the week. If you have not been getting your shirts, don't blame me, blame him and him.
Now we just need
all the way to the corner.
Everybody shirt in. So if they got a shirt, just hit me up. But today's question is going to be it's going to be kind of, I'll give it a C rating. All right. So there have been 10 players that represent the San Diego / Los Angeles Chargers in Canton in the Hall of Fame as they reside. I want you to give me the names of the only players that played their entire career exclusively with the San Diego Chargers. All right. So we know that Junior Seau actually left San Diego. So name me the Hall of Famers who played their entire career in San Diego / Los Angeles Chargers. And if you get it right, you go to our website, take a shot. All you got to do is fill in the little comment section. It's right there. And then I'll go check it tomorrow and make sure that see who got it right. All right. And get a free t-shirt.
B Jones is one. happen to be a tight end? Let me just throw that out there. Is it a tight end for one?
No.
You tell me.
Because I'm just thinking about one whose son was in Boston Market with some Vaseline getting busy.
Wait a minute, what?
That's a CTE case they need to look into. He in jail right now, huh? That man locked up right now.
Yeah, I know, but he was in Boston Market parking lot with a thing of Vaseline, and the rest is going to town on itself.
Hey, go to sportslifetalk.com and go ahead and answer that.
Hey, show.
Wow.
Look, only on Sports Life Talk do y'all get this type of conversation.
Exactly. Wow. Interesting. All right, so let's move on to something less slippery. Serge, let's talk about a little local life.
Yes, local life. Last week we had some twins we discussed, and this week, actually it's been a few weeks ago, I guess, since we had the twins, but we had some sisters. We got the Crook sisters. These ladies will actually be coming on the show. We're doing a podcast with them on Friday this week, so definitely stay tuned to listen to that episode. But Kenzie Crook is a 3-time Junior Olympic All-American, and her older sister, Kaya, is a 5-time Junior Olympics All-American. So definitely looking forward to, hearing from some great athletes that are here locally, and get some insight from them about their career and their path to their greatness so far. So,
hey, I'm sorry, sir. Your boy Scoop in the comments said Kellen Winslow Jr. was picking up homeless women and buying them coffee. Man,
no wrong with that. He was being a good Samaritan.
No, he was trying to be good, all right, but it wasn't about being a good Samaritan.
Didn't I say, you know what, Serge? Tell us about the local business. Less slippery.
My bad.
Slippery. No, it's okay. I'm actually gonna, talk about the Cookie Society. I know one of the ones that a business that's here locally up in Frisco, I believe. Yes, Frisco. And I know B. Jones got a chance to check it out. He said it was delicious, so I guess we all got to go try it out.
Yes, I need to go get some ASAP, because y'all know I love cookies and cupcakes and stuff. So
you love anything that's edible. So
yeah, that was off the chain. But KD, you said you read something about a baker, or something like that.
Yeah. So the baker's name is Marissa Allen. She is actually married to an ex-NFL player. It doesn't say who, like what his name is, but yeah, so Marissa Allen, she's the one who throws down in the kitchen making these
it's monster
really delicious cookies that B. Jones was supposed to send to us, but he didn't.
No, I owe y'all the Mary Ellis toffee. I ain't been back out there. I gotta go. I'm about to see if he got it on the website. I can order it because we've been quarantining. But hey, them cookies was the beast. And what's crazy about it is I specifically remember during one of our pre-production meetings, Pam was bragging on Cookie Society as if I don't know why. I thought you were talking about a banana pudding cookie and everything. Had me up in there buying a banana pudding cookie.
I like Instagram.
Okay. All right.
Sorry.
Pam, I thought you was gonna hit him with the wrong one, boo.
Oh, that'd have been on point
if
right
it had
there.
to do with food and cookies, it probably was me. But
I was about to say, no, it ain't the wrong one when it comes to food and cookies. It's
no, it's not. All right, y'all. So let's start with the kickoff question for the crew. So a few weeks ago, the NFL locked it up face of the game in Patrick Mahomes. I don't know who wrote that sentence. But what player under the age of 25 should the NBA market as the face for the future? So let me give y'all a list, and you can pick from this list. So Giannis Antetokounmpo.
Hey,
there you go.
Jason Tatum. Oh, I'm sorry. Giannis is with the Bucks. Jason Tatum is with the Celtics. Trae Young is with the Hawks. Ja Morant is with the. That's what I said. Is with the Grizzlies. Luka Doncic. Whatever. Is with. He's trying to correct me. I don't know if y'all hear him in the background.
Well, thank you, T.
Good job, T.
Whatever.
Come on, announce all these names real quick.
Luka with the Mavs, and then Zion with the Pelicans. So My pick for the face of the NBA would be, I got to go with Luka. You know, he's a Dallas Maverick, so why not? KT?
Well, I would go Luka, but that's just too much hometown, and I always show hometown love. So I'm gonna go with a Duke player, but not one that already got paid when he was in college. I'm going with Jason Tatum.
Hey, in all fairness, though, I think Jason Tatum got that Kobe type upside. KT, that's not a bad pick, man.
Yeah, because he isn't cocky. He doesn't get in trouble, and his game is just gonna keep elevating. So yeah, I'm going with Jason Tatum.
Ooh. Serge?
Man, this is tough. I'm gonna probably have to go with Luka. Obviously, I'm gonna give the hometown love because I just see that out of all the guys, I guess outside of Zion, he's definitely the youngest one on here. And his upside, I mean, dude's already in the MVP conversation in his second year. You know, obviously he did something yesterday that only Oscar Robertson's ever done. Had 34 points, 20 rebounds, 12 assists. I mean, obviously there's things that he, just like any of these other guys, can improve on. He can improve on as well. But, I mean, he's been playing with grown men since he was 14 years old. So he's got that advantage, and you can see it on the court because the game comes super, super, super easy to him. And I see, you know, him having a better career than actually Dirk Nowitzki here in Dallas. So I'm going to go with him.
B. Jones?
Yeah, you already know it's not hometown love. It's just a fact. I'm gonna go with the other Duke player who actually got paid when they was probably in high school. That man probably been getting paid to play on every single team he played on his entire life, and that's Mr. Flex on him, Zion Williamson. This the thing, Giannis. Half the people can't even say his name. You struggle with getting his name out of his mouth, so he can't be the face of the NBA. Luka, he not an American-born player, and although I think out of all these players, at the end of the day, I foresee Luka having more statistics and probably even more accolades than a lot of this cat. Luka's about to take the league over, but hey, Zion, he's been a media sensation since day one. He was a first pick in the draft. The expectations is lofty, and Zion just make crazy plays that you're gonna constantly see these things on SportsCenter. I mean, when he does something, it's gonna move the needle, and it's gonna be like an earthquake. Every time he throws down one of them alley-oops or he makes an incredible play, you're gonna see the social media, you're gonna see the internet start to talk.
Yeah, but B. Jones, it's hard to be the face of the league if you go up to like 300 pounds.
But you know what, though? That's a lot of y'all speaking negativity on that man. And that's D. Hickey speaking negativity on that man. But the man ain't played in 20 games, and everybody talking about he can't stay healthy. We don't know that just yet.
Well, no, the whole 20 games, that's just the Pelicans babying him right now because he's ready to play.
But that's what I'm saying.
He got hurt in high school. He got hurt in college. He got hurt during preseason.
He got hurt in college because he had a blowout. Them Nikes blew out on him. That was the only reason he got hurt in college. That man played. Hey, I'm gonna say this.
Yeah, right now they need to let him play. Let him
get hurt before we start talking about it.
Either don't play him or play him because he can go out there for 15 minutes and still get hurt. I mean,
that's what I'm saying. But, I mean, any player can get hurt, y'all. This man is
in a hotel room going down the steps. He can get hurt. I mean, so my thing is like either put him out there and let him play so he can get more conditioning and get better because he's playing against NBA players, or just don't play him at all. Just wait it out for next season. But this whole like right in between, I just don't understand like the thought process. Like it's either you play him or you don't. And because if you're putting out there, because when he gets out there, he's probably wanting to go even harder, which is going to end up him getting hurt anyways.
Well, all I know is Zion should be the face of the NBA. He's got the tremendous upside. I don't think he's going to have the kind of career accolades that Giannis. I think because Giannis won MVP last year, right?
Yeah,
I don't think Zion will ever be an MVP caliber player, but I do think that he'll make probably 8 or 9 All-Star games, something like that, and maybe a couple of first teams. And but he'll be there. He'll be the image that the NBA wants to portray.
Katie, who you got?
I am gonna go with, is it Jay or Ja? Ja. Right, I'm gonna go with Ja Morant from the Grizzlies. I'm choosing him.
I actually like that pick.
Did you just kind of any, meeny, miny, mo?
No, I was talking about him the other night with one of my friends, and he was just talking about how good he was. So,
what friend was this, KD? No, I'm joking. You ain't got to do that. I'm messing with you. I'm messing with you.
Actually, my second pick would be Giannis, and I like Giannis just because I like to struggle to say his name.
Yeah, try it one more time, just so we can see if you improve.
Hold on, Antetokounmpo.
You had it right when you said it the last time.
That's because Terrence told me what to say.
Antetokounmpo.
Oh, okay, yeah, I ain't gonna never say that. But
Yeah, call him a Greek freak and move on.
Yep,
yeah,
Greek
exactly.
freak.
Exactly. All right, y'all. So let's move into some headlines. Headline number 1 for today. Seems like the MLB is on the ropes, and now every day we're hearing about more and more players that are opting out of the 2020 football season. Most recently, All-Pro linebacker C.J. Mosley from the Jets has decided not to play, and he is just one of many players. So, Serge, what do you think? Who is the biggest name to opt out that can make an impact?
Ooh, I mean, CJ Mosley is up there, but he's also, plays a position that, I mean, obviously is very important, but I feel like I'd probably go with Damian Williams of the Kansas City Chiefs, either starting running back on a Super Bowl winning team, and he played pretty significant, for them in the playoffs and obviously in the Super Bowl as well. So I'm gonna go with him, and they did obviously pick up a running back from the LSU during the draft. I had to throw that in there, but I think for him, and I don't think we're done. And I think the deadline is tomorrow for people to opt out. We probably will get some more names, of guys who are going to opt out due to COVID and the health aspect of because the NFL really still hasn't put out a great plan for a lot of these guys to want to say, okay, let's go play.
Okay. Kevin, you have maintained the notion that the NFL won't play this season. Are you still putting your money on that?
Now I got to save my money for like lotto tickets, so I ain't gonna put no money on that because, like B. Jones said, it's about money. So the NFL is going to play.
Does he sound like that though?
No, he doesn't. I just want to talk like that. But if we're going off MLB, the NBA is successful because they have a bubble. If you don't have a bubble, it's not going to work. And I think Serge had a good idea off air. You got to have multiple bubbles for the NFL that they can go into. Without that, it won't be a season.
So there won't be a season that'll finish, is what you're saying?
Yes, it won't. They won't finish. It'll get started. Because let's be honest, y'all, we all love football and we're going to watch it regardless.
Of course.
But do we really want to see like replacement players in there instead of like Drew Brees, Dak? We don't want to see that mess. So financially, yeah, it's going to be good that they're making money, but it's going to be a bad product.
And
go ahead.
No, I was gonna say, and it will be a bad product that you, me, and everybody and their mama will tune in and watch. And we will also go to Twitter and we'll go to IG. And if TikTok, if they can keep it open, we all gonna say how bad of a product it is. But we will be watching. And if we're watching, then advertisers will be putting their money on for commercials. And if advertisers are putting their commercials on there, the NFL will be making money. It is what it is, man.
Made in the regular season though, during the pandemic, I'm not going to overpay y'all, knowing that at any point it could stop. But yeah, they're going to make money. That's what I said in my earlier statement too. But I agree with you, B. Joe.
Hey, KD, are there any players that you were looking forward to seeing play that if they opted out, you'd be like, damn.
Well, we know one.
For baseball or NFL?
NFL.
Well, yeah, Odell Beckham. I don't know if y'all saw that video that he posted the other day. I don't know, it made me ready for football. And what I was going to say just a second ago, it'll be crazy if it starts and nobody ever tests positive for COVID. That'll be.
That's not going to happen. When they can go back home and just walk around freely. That's not going to happen.
Yeah, it's not going to happen.
Yeah.
That's the biggest problem is like in baseball, even though there's been COVID, they can cancel a few games and it's not that big of a deal. But, You gonna tell me that if Patrick Mahomes or Tom Brady gets COVID and they're gonna have to be out 2 weeks, we're just gonna be like, oh yeah, just bring in the backup and just play? No, man, that's just not gonna make sense for the product that you have to put out there. Even though, yeah, you can bring in backup to replacement players, but the problem is, you as a hardcore fan know that it's not fair. Like we're behind the 8 ball, and more than likely, as great of a team we have, without that one main player, like on the Buccaneers, if it's not Tom Brady, what chance do they realistically have of winning? So that's the problem, and that's why I suggested that they should have a bubble, but they should have multiple bubbles so they can still spread everything out between, I would say 4 cities, and then just do it that way, or at least have a contingency plan. Hey, if we start having a breakout, we're gonna go into this bubble method, because I think trying to make a bubble method now from start is probably already too late. But they should have been doing that. They should have been taking what the NBA was doing. They've been working on this since the beginning of May. All these commissioners are obviously talking on a regular basis about testing and protocols and stuff. So why they didn't do that, I don't know. Obviously because they want to actually have fans in the stands. That's what NFL is booking on, is 25%, 50% fans, because that's also money at the gate that the owners want to make. Like, they're not. You think Jerry Jones wants to lose, on those $12 Bud Light cans? No, man. Like, he wants every single dollar of that. So.
But
go ahead, B. Joe. My bad.
No, I was gonna say, but to your point, Serge, it goes so much deeper than just fans in the stands. What a lot of people don't understand, when you hear announcement like the SWAC conference is not playing college football, it actually makes an impact to tourists. I mean, it impacts the entire infrastructure and money that these whole cities are making. So think about it. You don't get Grambling and Southern playing football. You don't get a Bayou Classic. Which means now you don't get the television dollars, but you also don't get all of these people who are just going to New Orleans to party for a full weekend and enjoy this. And the same thing goes for the New Orleans Saints games. When Atlanta plays, I mean, it's 20,000 people from Atlanta. Some may not even go to the games, but you got a large contingency of fans that are coming into the cities just to party and enjoy the events. The football is bigger than what happens on the field. That's why the Super Bowl is literally the most watched event across the globe. People who can't even speak English watch the Super Bowl. So it's a party. I think.
But just think about it. No OTAs, so we're gonna have all the hamstring issues.
Virtual.
Yeah, I don't know. It's gonna come down to whatever team has the best immune system, I guess. So
that's what they need to do, though. If you get COVID, they shouldn't pay you for that game. They ought to say, hey, we'll pay you if you're practicing, but as soon as if you get COVID, then you don't get a game check. I guarantee you won't nobody get it. Every NFL player will be wearing mitts and hats and everything, glasses, and be walking around looking like they about to go skiing in the Alps.
That's what I'm saying. Like, it's gonna be some crazy stuff is gonna happen. I don't know. That's how I feel. Either nobody's gonna get it or everybody's gonna get it. I don't know.
So we talked about the NFL. So let's talk about the NBA, because NBA put the players in the bubble. It was some that escaped from the bubble and did some crazy things. But for the most part, they kicked off their season, last Thursday. And the ratings seem to be soaring, all through the weekend and stuff. And it's interesting to watch, with the big screens and not having the fans there. But Kevin, tell me, have you watched some games? What do you like? What don't you like?
Oh, what's not to like? We got basketball, so I'm not going to say anything negative because I don't want it to be taken away. So, if anybody knows me, basketball is my first love. So the fact that we're able to watch it, I'm able to see LeBron and AD do their thing, Luka killing. I have nothing negative to say about that. Go NBA in the bubble.
So the games that come on during the day, like the ones that come on at 2 p.m. while you're at work, do you record those or you just watch the highlights later?
I watch a highlight later. I'm not doing all that. That's a little extra.
Hey, sir. So after you've seen teams get in about 2 games so far, what do you have you been watching, and who do you think like has your perspective changed on who you thought was, going to be a top contender this season after watching the games, or are you just like, yeah, same as I thought before?
No, I think on the West, I'm still obviously going to go with the Lakers, but on the East, I'm really starting to believe that the Toronto Raptors are going to go to the finals.
I'm starting to believe it too, dog.
And I'm not saying that because, obviously, like, of course, going to the championship and winning it, that experience helps. And you bring back pretty much almost all the same players except for Kawhi and Danny Green. And it's like they haven't missed a beat. It's like Kawhi is still there and Danny Green is still there, but in actuality, they're not. But the guys like Siakam, Van Vliet, those guys have stepped up their games. And I got to give kudos to Nick Nurse, the coach, because, he should definitely be winning Coach of the Year, because I don't think nobody realistically saw them. They might be in the playoff, but nobody saw them competing for, if it wasn't for the Bucks already locking up the 1 seed, they could have potentially had at least given them a chance to actually catch the 1 seed, which is pretty wild and crazy to think about. But their defense is legit. This is one of those things where it shows you that if they somehow make it to the finals, even if they lose, what does that tell you about last year's championship with Kawhi on the team?
I was just about to mention that, Serge.
I haven't really heard anybody on ESPN or any of the other talk shows really talk about that. But I'm like, you take somebody away, because everybody praised Kawhi. Oh my gosh, he beat the Warriors and he took them to the finals. But if that team is able to do that without him, even just getting there, like I said, and we'll say they lose to the Lakers or the Clippers or some other team, the Rockets, somebody like that, you got to say that, it was the team that took them to the finals and not necessarily Kawhi. And maybe we got to put a little bit more, I don't want to say an asterisk, but you got to take a closer look at that championship, because we all know that if Kevin Durant was playing, there's no way that Kawhi had that.
They got beaten 5. They got beaten
anyway. So that's my biggest takeaway is Toronto is I've officially jumped on the bandwagon to say that I don't think, because before the season started, I picked the Sixers to go to the finals. And I think earlier in the season, halfway through the season, I probably picked the Bucks to go to the finals because they were just playing, out of their minds. But I think Toronto has pretty much every team's number.
All right. So B. Jones, I know you were really kind of passionate about this week. Jonathan Isaac decided to stand during the national anthem, and since then his jersey sales have soared. Go ahead and unleash and tell us your thoughts.
This is the deal. I 100% respect Jonathan Isaac. He probably took this a little bit better than what my GOAT Drew Brees did. He stood for the anthem, but he didn't make any comments about it being disrespectful. I think he tried to position himself as an all lives matter type thing, but I don't think he was intentionally doing it. So it was an unfortunate event that he hurt himself. I hate that anybody hurt themselves. I think the fact that his jersey sales soared, if I'm him, I would be like, I didn't want my jersey sales to soar just because of what I did, but I'm pretty sure if it's for his church or it's for his religion, maybe that's motivation, because these same people who went and bought those jerseys, they're people full of hate. So guess what? If they really listen to his message, they more than anything needed to understand what Jonathan Isaac was really talking about. I'm going to be real with you, though, that I'm kind of disappointed in the whole situation. I wish he would have kneeled and still probably, kneel for the first one and then maybe have stood up for some of the other ones. But we need to see unity when it comes to this Black Lives Matters. If you got African Americans who not even understand the gravity of it, we still got a long way to go with this plight.
Yeah, but he can at least wear the shirt.
Or something.
At least wear the shirt.
Acknowledge. Yeah, something to acknowledge it. The fact that he stood up, I don't understand his thought process and what he said didn't really align up. It didn't discredit. Like kneeling would not have it wouldn't have changed his relationship with God. It wouldn't have changed his views on any other country or anything. It was all in the act of support for Black Lives Matter.
Yeah, okay, before anybody else say something, don't we kneel when we pray?
Oh,
I mean,
so they asked you to marry them?
Yeah, so what would have been the difference?
I mean, and he said too, the only time I would kneel in front is in front of God. Okay, I get that, but my thing is, and I'm a proponent this is for every race, every color, every religion. If you want to stand during a national anthem, just like if you want to kneel for the national anthem, that is your right. But when somebody asks you why you decided, because you're one of the few that didn't do what everybody else is doing, which is taking a knee, and you give a response like the way he did, that's when I have a problem. Like, you're saying, I'm all for Black Lives Matter. Okay, but I didn't see you wear the shirt. Okay, so if I wore a Black Lives Matter shirt and I took a knee, it wouldn't go together. That doesn't make any sense because everybody else is doing it. So you're saying what everybody else is doing is pretty much irrelevant to the conversation. That's not true. And more importantly, when you try to bring in God, which is, I love that he's able to bring it up. But then when you end your sentence by saying, if we all come together, we can stop COVID. What are you talking about? Like that, you're completely missing the point. My thing is, if you want to stand, that's fine. And say like, hey, I view the flag differently. Even if you don't have any military background and family or anything, just say that, hey, I view the flag differently. I'm going to use my platform to speak up about Black Lives Matter and, do things in my community. You could have just left it there. But by trying to scapegoat yourself by bringing in God into the situation, when that's not playing a part into the national anthem or Black Lives Matter, because it's a people issue, right? So if you wanted to stand and just say like, hey, like I chose to stand because that's what I have the right to stand. That's what I chose to do. I'm going to still support Black Lives Matter and leave it at that. But his explanation just when he touched on COVID, but I'm like, oh, you lost me. You completely lost me.
I know we're about to move on to the drop, but let me just ask y'all one quick question. Do you think that his teammates?
What happened?
Jones.
But I tell you what, I don't know what happened to Kevin. That's what happened to Gator fans. But 100%.
I've been here. I just did that for dramatic effect.
Hey, I think his colleagues. I do agree with you, Kevin. I know where you're going with that question. Yeah, they probably looked at him a little bit different. Like, like, can we really trust this dude? Is he gonna go to war with us? Is he gonna fall in line, or is he gonna dance to his own rhythm?
So you don't think that he told his teammates and coaches and stuff before the game that he was gonna stand?
No, he might have, but still, I understand. You could tell me all day long you're gonna stand and why you're gonna stand, but if we all kneeling and it's a unification thing, your agenda has just came precedence over the team's agenda. And when you play in a team sport, you have to put the teams. You have to put the team first. That's just the natural. That it won't impact your relationship with God to put the team first at all whatsoever. You chose to do that because you knew you were going to have the cameras on you, and you knew the next morning that you were going to be the talk of the nation. And you chose your agenda over the Magic's agenda or over your teammates' agenda. And really, honestly, your own race. You chose your motives over your own culture.
All right, so I know we're going to move on to the drop, but I do want to point out that headline 3 was that 54-year-old Mike Tyson is going to be fighting on September 12th, 51-year-old Roy Jones. We will get into that next week since we ran out of time this week, but that's I can't wait.
And I do want to say one other thing, because I know we didn't get to tell our stories of what we thought was going to be the most impactful story in the drop. And in the bubble, I was really close to giving this guy the yeet. TJ Warren. Write the name down.
Man.
Hey, whatever you got to do, if you're a sports fan, you're a non-sports fan, go check out what this dude is doing in that bubble. I don't know what he got in his room. I don't know if he eating Scooby snacks or something.
Drinking
he definitely got his bay in his room.
Something. TJ Warren is on fire, and Melo's back. That's all I'm gonna say. Let's move on.
All right, moving on to the drop. B. Jones.
All right, so COVID has kind of been messing with the drops lately. because I'm starting to see a lot of sneaker releases get pushed back. But I do believe the one that's coming up on the 15th, which is going to be about 10 days from now, is going to be the Air Jordan 12 Indigo. It's similar to the black and gold pair that we dropped a couple of weeks ago, known as the University Golds. But this pair is going to have a stone blue outside with a obsidian type blue leather, and then it's got the white on the front of it as well. So it's a nice looking shoe. It's going to retail at about 200, about 190. Actually, it'll retail at 190.
In this corner over here with these two.
It's a K&K.
Y'all,
He's still freezing. All right, and then I was gonna say, and then they also got a pair of Jordans that will be releasing this weekend, but they part of those exclusive sneakers. They're called the High OG Japan Tokyos, and these things are neutral gray, and they got silver all through, and probably one of the dopest pair of shoes. I tried to put a raffle in for them. They are not selling anywhere. They are so exclusive. You're gonna have to try to figure out, maybe in Hollywood or something off Rodeo Drive. They're gonna be selling them. Maybe in LA. I'm not sure. Who?
I bet PJ Tucker got them.
Oh yeah, these shoes. Did. Absolutely. These shoes will probably easily go for, $1,800 to $2,500, within the next year after they release. I mean, these are going to be some filthy looking shoes. As far as music drop has been kind of weak lately, but we did have a big one with Beyonce. Brought us The Lion King, The Gift, the deluxe edition, and then Brandy's back with B7, which is an R&B type album. So check those out if you get the opportunity.
And speaking of coronavirus and the shoes, man, I need for whoever shipping my shoes to Scoop, I need y'all to get it together, man. I paid too much money to be sitting here for like 3 weeks waiting on the delivery. Okay,
man, they've been making us wait, man. I've been waiting on the pair of Defiance since June the 10th. They still ain't sent me my shoes, man.
Yeah, I know y'all don't want to talk about politics, but it's all that stuff going on with the USPS and voting and all of that.
The shoes are coming from China.
I cannot. All right, so now it is time for the Manhattan Project. So, KD, please tell us what you have for us this week.
All right, y'all. Hopefully, I won't start laughing and can't talk. So the wine of the week is it's Diora. It's a Pinot Noir. This wine offers aromas of dark fruit and toasted notes, soft and velvety with a voluptuous and full body mouthful. The palate unfolds with luxurious layers of intense red cherry and a delicate hint of blueberry. And then my drink of the week. So I'm doing something totally different again. It is the New York Sour. It consists of bourbon whiskey, lemon juice, maple syrup, or simple syrup, and then dry red wine. And then you garnish with a lemon twist. So this drink, you mix up the bourbon, the lemon juice, and the syrup, like in a shaker with ice until it's very cold. You'll pour it in kind of like an old-fashioned glass, and then you'll so I don't know if y'all have ever seen like those layered drinks. So the wine you're going to layer on top of the other stuff. And the secret to doing that is put your spoon like upside down and pour the wine against the spoon, and it'll just layer like nicely over the top drink. It's a really pretty drink. And then you toss in the cute lemon twist to just spice it up. So I think that I'm going to try that drink this weekend.
So, Pam, are you going to try that drink? I know it says something about maple syrup. Don't try to put it on a waffle or nothing. You know what I'm saying? Just drink it, okay?
Actually, she lost me at the first ingredient.
The whiskey, the bourbon whiskey. Why?
I'm not really a bourbon girl unless y'all want to see me on the news. So I'm going to just stick to the clear liquor drink.
Hey, we need the hits. Go ahead and drink them.
I mean, since you didn't make your way down to the bubble, we got to do something else.
Wait, should I leak my own nudes?
Please don't.
Oh, no, don't leak them.
What happened to the OnlyFans page?
Yes, OnlyFans, boo. Let's make this 10,000 in a day like they're claiming.
Man, don't nobody want to see that. All right, y'all. So I will be honest, KD, I did not watch the show Monday because I was working at the salon, so I missed it.
Who's watched it? Oh, here
Me.
he
I
goes.
watched it today.
I'll watch it today
Hey,
too.
I didn't watch it yet, but let me ask y'all a question before we get into it. So I know we watched Euphoria, right?
Mhm.
Which I think we all had a good time on watching that one. And then most of y'all, I'm the only one that didn't watch Last Dance, right?
Correct.
I didn't
Yeah.
watch the
Yeah.
last 2 episodes, I believe, but yes,
It's
I
on
watched.
Netflix
You
now.
watched
So
What other show? I know we watched Bird Box, but that was 2 years ago. So what other shows did we did? I don't know why I can't think of the other show we
Insecure?
did. That's
Oh,
right, Insecure. It was
Yeah.
Insecure. All right,
Yeah.
I was just wondering. So everybody out there who joined in with this on this, I May Destroy You. This is the first. I don't know. I'm gonna call this one a strike. I think we were batting 1,000 until this one. I think, but we only got one more week, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, and then we're gonna do Last Chance You, or what we're gonna do after that one?
we're doing Last Chance You. I think that's
And
what
then-
we could do more than one.
Yeah, we could do more than one.
And
Because
then
Last Chance You is just gonna be one episode. Because everybody should be watching it by now, and then we'll talk about the whole season in one fellow swoop.
And Euphoria comes back soon. I think it's supposed to come back this fall, but it might not end up. It might end up coming back in January because of COVID.
Yeah, it's pushing back all the dates
the
of all the
shows,
recording. Yeah, because Peaky Blinders, they not coming back for another year because of that. So it's a lot of shows
I'm
being
waiting for
pushed back.
Stranger Things to come out, but that don't look like it.
Does anybody
Yeah.
watch Lucifer?
I used to. I watched the first season and a half.
Man, that
Of
show off
Lucifer.
the chain. It's a good show.
Yeah, I like Lucifer as well.
That Blacklist is.
Love Blacklist as well.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay. So the show recap. I watched it. I was a little confused. The interesting part is I think it's titled something that has social media in it. And so it's pretty crazy how it was kind of like her. It's like another addiction of hers. It's another vice. It's another way out. But it's kind of like whenever she was walking down the
Street.
yeah, when she was walking through the city on live, it's like she got high off of it. It was kind of crazy to me, but it's real, especially right now going through COVID times. I think a lot of people are falling to social media and gaining like a really bad addiction to it. I was confused. I guess she was pregnant. Who was pregnant? Was the main character pregnant or her friend?
No,
No,
she
it was her. Arabella.
And then
Yeah.
was she pregnant by her friend, Kwame, or
That I
No,
don't,
That I don't know.
No, it wouldn't be Kwame.
Yeah, no, it wasn't Kwame.
It
Well,
was
no, the way the episode was going though, it had you thinking it was him.
Yeah,
Yeah.
there's a chance. There's a chance.
I just
That don't make sense though, because Kwame supposedly lost his, his virginity to a woman.
no, he didn't lose his virginity.
His hetero virginity to that young lady on that date.
Nilofer. Yeah.
Yeah.
So y'all gotta watch this episode so that way y'all can help us understand because I am confused.
Yeah, I'm gonna watch it tonight.
It was definitely. It wasn't all over the place, like I guess a couple episodes ago, but it was definitely, like you said, the social media thing, which is kind of like ironic. Obviously, like everything that we watch throughout each episode is like, oh, even though that's based in Europe and we're here, it's like, we only really see stuff that's like, oh man, everybody's addicted to this. No, it's everybody's addicted to this everywhere.
Yeah.
And the social media thing is just like on another level, and I think during COVID, it's obviously when you also saw TikTok take another huge spike, and this, what do? You just sit around and randomly just make videos because you ain't got nothing else to do, especially for kids because they're not in school. And once June hit, well, they would be out of school anyway. So it's like, they can't go to the playground. They can't go to the malls and hang out with friends or go to movies with friends or typically things that they do, go camping. They're not doing any of those things. So, well, let's make TikTok videos and put it on social media and get more followers and things like that. And so, but as far as the show, it's the fact when she started just going off on her friend and Kwame too, I was like, whoa! I was like, we're starting to see a whole another side of her. And then obviously towards the end, like the rectified or she realized like, man, I got some serious issues that I need to take care of. But so in that sense, looking forward to obviously how the season finishes off. But she's definitely a character to say the least. But I feel like there's probably so many people. We might even have them in some of our circle of friends. We just don't know because a lot of people don't talk about their issues. And since you're not around them, or you don't talk to them every day, you don't really know. But there's real issues in a lot of people. And I think social media just is a driving force because you take what you see and you start putting it into your life when what you're watching or reading or whatever it is has nothing to do with you, but you let it get inside of your life.
Since she wrote this, I see her name in the credits, and I think it's Michaela Coel or something like that. Coelle. I just this is one of those shows that I'm going to have to do some more research, maybe listen to some of her interviews or get where she was going with this body of work. Excellent acting. Don't get me wrong. It feels very real. It feels very authentic, but I just don't know what emotions. I mean, one moment it's making a joke, the next moment somebody's getting, R word. I don't know if I can say if FCC gonna shut us down for saying that word, but it's taking me on a journey, and I really don't. I can look around and I don't know where I'm at on this journey. Like I don't know where we going, and I sure as hell don't know where we been. So
she's joking, being serious, and emotional all in the same sentence,
which is extremely talented. It's a talented. I mean, it's quirky writing, but I don't know how I'm supposed to feel as I watch this.
Yeah, like I say, y'all got to watch this episode, and then we got to have a group chat about it.
Okay.
It'd be like Pam being like Terry and be like, "Yeah, follow me at just Pam."
Yes. All right. So yesterday I saw on Instagram that Damian Lillard was talking about Melo, about how he's a Hall of Famer. And he also said it's more disappointing that people are surprised by it. What are y'all's thoughts on this comment?
I don't think anybody is surprised by this. Everybody knows Melo's a Hall of Famer. He's just a selfish player when he's on the court. That's the only reason. He's kind of like Kobe, except Kobe was better.
And I know what you're trying to go with that, Kevin, but what you just said isn't exactly the problem of why people say that. A lot of people just hate Melo, and most of the people that hate Melo are media and these people who call themselves realists or truists. These are the people who think that they are above the game or they love the game so much that they are above an average fan. People are still upset at Melo for making the move from the Denver Nuggets. He held the team hostage, similar to what Jamal Adams just did. He held the franchise in hostage and said, "Hey, I want to go somewhere else. I refuse to play for you." And they sent him to New York. And I mean, it ruined the Nuggets. The Nuggets just really came back into the conversation probably 2 or 3 years ago when they started acquiring some players around it. So the media, especially the beat writers, they've always held him accountable. They've called him selfish. Kevin called him selfish, but this is the deal. Name me a player on one of Melo's teams that could have carried the load like Melo did. He was forced to play it. He was forced to go down and score 37 and take that many shots. And then they say, well, Melo, he don't play defense. Well, if you exerting all of your energy on offense, you can't go down and play. Defense is 100% hustle and energy. It's who's willing to work the hardest. Melo wasn't selfish. Melo was playing his role.
But B. Jones, you said that he destroyed Denver. He destroyed the Knicks.
The Knicks destroyed the Knicks. The Knicks have a horrible James Dolan or whatever his name is. He's been a horrible owner from day one. He wouldn't put any real talent. I mean, you call Ian Shumpert and
well, no, they had to give up so much to go get Carmelo from Denver because Carmelo wanted out. If he had just waited till after the season, the Knicks would have been fine.
Man, there's no reason why you can't go get players in free agency if you're the Knicks. And we all know that basketball money's totally different. There's a luxury tax. It's teams that pay way over the salary cap, and they just pay the luxury tax. And with Madison Square Garden, as much money as that facility and that building makes when the Knicks ain't on the floor, we talking about boxing, concerts, shows, all kind of stuff go on at the Madison. That team ain't hurting for money and never was, bro. They could have put talent in New York.
Melo, obviously coming out of college and winning the championship in 2003 with Syracuse, I think a lot of people saw him like, man, when he comes to the league, he's going to be one of the next greats. And obviously, he can put the ball in the basket. That's easy for Melo. Like literally, it's like he could do it with his eyes closed. But I think the problem was you started seeing like, okay, he can take him to the playoffs, get him a good record, but then he couldn't do nothing when they got to the playoffs. He couldn't put him over the top because he wasn't making players around him better. All he could do was score. He's not a great passer. Obviously isn't a great defensive player. And then where he really screwed up was he had the opportunity to obviously go play with LeBron and D Wade, but he chose to take the money with the Knicks instead of taking the same contract year so that they all three could go play together. It wasn't supposed to be Bosh. It was supposed to be Melo. But if you would have just sacrificed some of that money, like LeBron did and Wade did, and who knows where his career – I mean, because think about it. If Bosh, even especially those years where Wade wasn't as healthy, man, Carmelo would have been easily averaging 25 in those series. Maybe they would have won 4 in a row. We don't know that. You know what I mean?
So LeBron wouldn't have left Miami either. He'd have still been in Miami if Melo was there because they'd have been winning.
They would have definitely won 3 out of the 4. So it all just the dynamics all change. And he went to obviously Oklahoma City, and as great as Russ and Paul George and Carmelo was, it was just like Carmelo being that third player. At that time, he wasn't willing to be that third player like he is now with Portland. He knows that if he wants to be in the league, not even making about money, he's got millions and millions of dollars. Money is not the issue. He still he wants to stay in the league till where he actually should be retiring, or give himself a good chance to win a championship. And why wouldn't I go play with Damian Lillard and CJ McCollum? But having that understanding, because Houston, they didn't know how to use him because Melo is a mid-range player. And they don't like shooting mid-range. They either shoot threes or layups. If you ain't doing neither one of those, we can't have you on the team. So I think that's where people started really doubting him and thought he was done. I knew he wasn't done. It was just a matter of somebody giving him a chance. And CJ McCollum's been talking about them getting him for the last 2 to 3 years, which is a matter of time that they, fit him together. And now he lost weight and he's balling.
He want Lala back, man.
Yeah, I'm about to say he earned my respect when he was about to whip KD ass for that Honey Nut Cheerios comment that he made on her. Is that what it was?
Whatever. Stop cheating, and then you won't even have to worry. But anyway, moving right along, since we only have a few minutes left. So this week's Uncut Gem question. All right. So this is I want the male and female perspective on this question, and we will post this on the website. And of course, I will give my 2 cents if anyone cares. But the question of the week is: you just caught your friend's mate cheating on them. What do you do?
Oh, that's easy.
Nobody.
Oh, no, I'm saving it for the website. I got you. www.sportslifetalk.com.
All right, say that one more time so I can process it.
So you just caught your friend's mate, boyfriend, girlfriend, whatever, cheating on them. What do you do?
So my partner, I saw his wife out there, grimy.
Yes.
What do I do?
What do you do?
You saw her boot up at the Cookie Society getting some cookies.
Exactly. And let's be clear, because people say, well, how do you know? When I say you saw your friend's mate cheating, they were holding hands, they were kissing, they were hugging. Now, you can't just say, oh, well, they was just at Chili's having lunch. It could have been, business. No, I'm talking about clearly like entangled.
Sitting on the same side, it's a booth and both of them
absolutely.
So arm.
My business. Somebody said spill the tea. I'm telling you. All right. So that's the question. That's the Uncut Gems question for this week. I will be giving, again, my 2 cents. I'm going to try to do it in the morning, but your girl is tired and booked and busy. So I will try to do that in the morning. But B. Jones, at least post the question so that we can get the comments. All right.
I'll get it up tomorrow morning.
All right. And so let's get to the yeet, B. Jones. So all
right. So I'm pretty sure this Monday was a big day for a lot of people, just like it was myself. And you have seen tons of pictures and headlines that feature The Rock, giving him all the credit for this recent $15 million buy-up of the XFL. And don't get me wrong, I was screaming Rock's name to the roof, till the wheels fall off when I found it out. But although Rock is an amazing superstar, entertainer, and a diehard football fan, he was not the architect nor the mastermind behind these recent events. Rock's ex-wife, Dani Garcia, actually became the first prospective female owner of a league independent from a team. And where this became yeet worthy is, come to find out, she's a minority. Miss Danny Garcia, a former weightlifter, she is a Latina. So y'all can stand up, and she represented for the people. So I'm glad the XFL is back. Apparently, in an interview with Rock, he talked about how illuminated she was about the game, how she interacted with the television every time it would come on, and how she was one that was very engaged and followed it from the beginning. So, Danny, you gave us something back that I look forward to in that spring football. And for you stepping out of the shadows, which, I don't know how many people knew you back then, but now they know you. And you being the first female prospective league owner and being a Latina, you deserve a yeet.
But B. Jones, I think people do know her because if I'm not mistaken, she's the Rock's manager.
She's a business partner of his and his ex-wife.
Well, I know they got a kid together.
Yeah.
And she's a bodybuilder too, so she can whoop your ass too.
She probably was trying out for the WWE. Hey, now let me ask you a question though. Do y'all feel like Vince McMahon hooked all that up so Rock could get it?
Well, the Real Life Ballers, that's how his show was, right? He always wanted to buy a team. Now he has a league.
Hey, I mean, like if you took a whole bunch of losses, during the restart, I mean, what better way to just sell it and make some money back?
He wouldn't have took no loss, man. Anybody who was following that product knew that the XFL, it was coming, dog. It was legit. They needed to get a few upgrades for a couple of quarterbacks, but that product was nice. Everything about it, the changing the rules, it felt right. And
I know, but I'm saying once COVID hit, it obviously took everything away that they had going. Yeah. So I'm saying, like, then they canceled it. They pretty much said there's going to be no more XFL going forward.
Well, they couldn't afford it. Apparently,
right. So
apparently he was.
Hey, like I invested a whole bunch of money into it. Let me go ahead and get 15 million. That's cool.
Like, can you believe that 15 mil is all it took? Now y'all know there was some people out there with 15 mil that could have bought the XFL, bro.
Easily.
I'm talking about just crazy people could have bought the XFL 15 mil.
All right, y'all. Well, that concludes our show. Would anybody like to do some very quick? I'm about to do y'all like they do at the funeral. Very quick shout out.
Yeah, Corey Livingston, who is normally on the show with us, his wife Kathy celebrates her birthday today. So shout out to you guys, the Livingstons. I hope y'all having fun. Happy birthday.
Happy birthday. Serge, what you got?
I just wanted to say, I'm sure everybody probably watching probably did see the video of the big blast that happened in Lebanon. I wanted to just send the prayers out to all those people who have been affected by that. I'm sure it's going to take a lot of time to probably recover from all the tragedy that happened during that explosion. So definitely just wanted to give our prayers out to those people.
Hey, Serge, what happened with that, man? I'm sorry we're going over, but what happened with how did that whole blast happen?
Google.
Yeah,
you got a show with fans that want to know.
They need to Google too. Katie?
So my shout out is a birthday shout out. It is my mom's birthday tomorrow. So happy birthday to her.
Happy birthday.
Mom.
Happy birthday.
And mine is to the SLT crew, especially you, Pam. You know I give you a hard time. You're like an older sister to me. KD's like a little sister. I don't know if y'all saw.
It's an older mess.
Yeah, you are older than me. So yes, you have to be my older sister. Excuse me. You're like a sister to me, Pam. KD's like a sister to me as well. As you know, me and her were laughing the whole time. That was just funny. We're gonna get in trouble. But I want to give a shout out to y'all, man. Y'all my family. I love y'all. Let's build this thing up.
Feeling is mutual, sir.
Build it up.
Even you, B. Jones.
Even you.
And I want to give a shout out to.
I'm already auditioning for other shows, man. So
bye.
Hey, I got a new podcast
shout out
coming
to
out
the Flowers. That's all I gotta say.
Shout out to who?
The Flowers.
Hey, y'all seen the 5 Heartbeats when they got that award and Flash went up there on stage and said, "I just want to announce that I'm going solo. My new album is Lonely at the Top." That's all I'm gonna say.
Mute yourself. Thank you. Mute yourself. That's all I gotta say is mute yourself. All right. So to wrap this on up, we want to announce that we are doing the walking challenge. Because we all been sitting up getting corona fluffy. So we've started walking And so basically, when you go for a walk, we want you to tag us and hashtag Walk It Off Challenge. So this is to walk off all of the cookie society, all of the Cajun,
The Mary Ellis toffee,
all the fried chicken, the hot wings, everything that you've been eating. This is to walk that off. You go at your own pace. You're not competing with anybody. We might do a little competition thing, at some point. But for right now, we're just trying to get everybody to start getting in shape, myself included. I was doing really good, and then my birthday came. My birthday was like 2 months ago. So anyway, hope you guys will join us on that. Like I said, tag us, tag yourself while you're walking or jogging or whatever it is, and then hashtag Walk It Off Challenge.
Oh, yes.
Give your Uncut Gems perspective on the question on the website. And
I want to say that I got this new little thing that we do on Instagram. It's called Who You Got. Check it out. It's real fun. We do one every other day, and it's been some fun debates and some fun topics. So if you are a diehard, sports fan, it's been some really interesting takes out there. So come check it out.
Yeah, B. Jones, you've been working hard on that too, man. We appreciate that.
I like the Errol Spence Bud Crawford.
That was a good one. It ended 50-50, even though I think Bud would get him, but we'll talk about it later.
All right, y'all. Katie, did you have something you want to say real quick?
Yeah, and if whoever is going to participate in the walking challenge or the high mile challenge, I am going to create an entanglement playlist that we made last week, and I will put that in link in my bio on Instagram. My name is right there.
Oh, and one last thing before we get up out of here and KT drops some music. D Hickey said she doesn't look like it, and I'm going to assume that he means that I don't look like your older sister. So you two, I look like your baby sister. So drop the music. Peace out, y'all. See y'all next week. Same time, same channels.